the CBN, the activities, the National Assembly, the House of Reps, what do they require of them? Well, we're joined now by Mr. Eddie Osarenkhoe, who is a financial consultant and the immediate past president of Financial Houses Association of Nigeria. Morning, and thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. It's been a while. Well, this matter, you of course you heard about it even before today or last year. They focused on it so much. We just had the report on this matter also, but since we haven't gotten your view on all this a long time ago, what did you think about what was playing out? All of those tussle between the House of Reps, the CBN. What should they do? They say we delegated power to the CBN. Nothing wrong in doing something about it. After all, we're represented by the people. We represent the people.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think the problem with this country is that people act on the spur of the moment. They don't look at systems and processes, because the same CBN have been there all along, and they never raised the eyebrow. Maybe because there's a change in the headship and came out with some strong policies which actually shoot the economy and stuff like that. They about this uproar. But I just believe what I'm trying to say here is that if we will look at the need to review our strategy, structure and processes regularly, we'll be able to see that there's no need for this kind of rancor. Because you don't build your institution, you build an institution not on the people. You're not looking at the people that manage. If you have a strong institution and a strong structure, if you throw out those who will manage it, and then eventually you have a smooth system of managing the enterprise. So what I think happened was that, yes, some of the people, at least it was the general thing in the country, what happened after the last banking constitution and even the few banks that came up and the way the old came up. So those actually brought about a lot of attention. And I want to say too that if they need to look at the fundamentals and do it right, eventually we will try to prevent that in future. What I'm trying to say is that things should be done in a systematic manner and done in such a way that is very open and transparent. And then even those who are there will not have to. And those who are even given the right to do oversight function, I think they too should understand where the boundaries and things like that, and also go ahead and do the thing regularly, so that it doesn't look as if you are out to withhold somebody. That's my stand on the matter.
Part of what they pointed out, the National Assembly, is that they've seen something wrong or a weakness, if you will, in the system. Because they don't understand why an individual will be able to wield so much and throw so much weight around without the system really, and such that people are asking, what exactly is the core functions of the CBN? Because they think, number one, we don't even know how much you're spending, who approves your budgets, you're like God unto yourselves, and the public have no say in this matter. So many questions. Should that be the case?
I agree with you. The business environment equally is dynamic. So even if, because it's dynamic, there are changes every day. Even if we have slept so much on those things, there's need to review some of them. That's why I really don't say again whatever they have done is wrong, what they are trying to do is wrong, because they need to constantly review our operation in line with the dictates of the business environment. So having said that, I also believe too that yes, they have right to ask those questions, because as people who are employed by people to do oversight function, and they saw a lot of this thing, they need to think about it. Why has it been happening like this? Why is it that the whole country is, like you said, one man is wielding a lot of power and they have no way to equally checkmate whatever he's doing? So I think that's what leads into the whole thing.
Because it's public funds here.
Yeah, I agree
I think what we got from your opening statement is key there. The word you used is transparency. You say it should be transparent. So in other words, if you have a clean books, especially as a financial consultant, if my books are clean, then I shouldn't even bicker about you wanting to look into those books or not. So the CBN should as well take the budget to the National Assembly, isn't it?
Yes, I agree. But earlier on I said we should always look at structures and how things were set up. If you look at it, CBN operates as a limited liability company, that the normal standard of a limited liability company that operates within the ambit of CAMA. In that situation, they have board of directors, and they also have management. and then they have their structure and whatever. The mandate was given to the board of directors by the president, who, like we know, were appointed by members and screened by the same House of Rep. So they assume that by that singular mandate, they have the board to look at the budget and formulate budget, especially given the peculiar nature of the job of financial policies of the economy and looking at how it works. So that actually gives them a role which is more professional and specific, which people cannot just dabble into. But I agree the need of transparency. I'm a professional chartered accountant. One of our watchword is transparency. And like you rightly said, if you're clean, you go to sleep and allow people to check your books. And at the end of the day, they come out with their views and you ask questions. You are also allowed to even make your own comment on it.
This suggests
yes,
somebody's not been transparent. Why are they making so much noise about it then?
Thank you. What I mean, the whole thing is talked about. Why they're making so much noise about it, they believe, like I said earlier on, is that they believe that the system of, like you already said, that one man is wielding so much power and they are just looking and they are unable to do anything about it. So that alone suggests why they are asking to do something, which actually that also encourages transparency and encouraging reliance on whatever comes out as if it is actually good to represent the people. But what I said earlier on, we must not just look at the person, we must look at the structure and the systems that throughout that person that is managing and see that whether there are checks and balances that are put in place to make sure those things that come out are actually transparent. So my take is that if you're going to do a holistic thing and don't look at the person there, because the person there may not be there every time.
Yeah, but exactly, the person there partly informs the reason why he has showcased, quote unquote, a weakness in the system.
Thank you. And because he's a very experienced person, he saw a lot of things which other people didn't see while they were there. And that's why I like changes. Strategy, I'm a strategist. I believe by this, people start to think and you want to do things right. And by the time we are through with the whole process, we now come out with a robust thing that actually will meet everybody's needs. I think, like I said, the watchword is transparency. And if we're able to review the whole thing and come out with what brings out that transparency and bring a lot of confidence on the people, then everybody will go to sleep.
Interesting keyword you use, the transparency.
Yeah.
And the perception, the mindset of a number of Nigerians is that they've been taken for granted for so long in this country.
Right.
Such that public institutions don't give them or have no regard whatsoever for the public, because actually, that's where it is. I mean, we may not be there today, but it's important we keep underscoring and stating that fact, that the people actually should be the ones in charge. So looking at this situation ideally, because if you look at individuals, you have people who will question the integrity of certain people in certain places. You got the National Assembly on one hand, you got the CBN and their board on the other. And so the National Assembly thinks that, well, something is wrong with the CBN because your budget, somebody has to look through your budget. And so they think, even if he is not the one there tomorrow, the CBN governor, what if somebody comes in tomorrow who could question or do some things that again raises the same questions? Should we keep saying?
And we are on the same page. Like I said, for even democracy to strive, institutions should be stronger than the big man. You understand what I mean by that? Institutions are like, even the national body, they are institutions, Ministry of Chartered Accountant are institutions, and so many other institutions in place in this country. The major problem we've had that institutions are weak and the big men are bigger and stronger than institutions. So by the time we're able to reverse the whole thing and make institutions stronger than the big men, then we will now be working toward democracy. What I'm saying, therefore, is that when you are focusing CBN, you don't focus it on one aspect. I mean, let me give you an example. Where you will see institution and big men. The issue of the conversion of the new notes. You remember that came up. We could see that as the big man working against institution. But you find that the institution finally overtook the big man. The CBN governor came up with that fine policy, but not well. Maybe he didn't carry a lot of people.